So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit and my intuition and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope you guys stay. For those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. These are the decks slash coins or buttons I'll be using to channel your weekly message in regards to the energy going on around you for the week ahead. I use week ahead loosely because energy is not fixed to a timeline. Okay, so this certainly could be energy that's going out of existence, coming into existence, currently around you at this time, but I am asking spirit for incoming energy. Okay, but we're all in different sort of spots in the timeline. So if you feel like that pile or the whatever your pick is doesn't sit with your energy frequency, then feel free to pick another pile. Okay. As usual, I will be pulling 3 cards and use your intuition, which you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you or not. Okay. Only you can do this. So I do suggest that you guys sit throughout the card layout and ask the divine for what it is you'll connect with so that you know whether it is your message or not. All right, so I will put a timestamp. We'll pull cards together and then we will get into the various groups. So I'll see you at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Let's pull 3 cards. Actually, Spirit is telling me 4 piles. I guess we have 4 piles to choose from for today's reading. So let's take a look. 4 options. Use your intuition to pull you into whichever one of these is going to have your energy for the week. That one fell into me. Didn't get a chance to read it. That was fast. So we have the 4 options. If at any point you are called to any one of these, go ahead and select from the timestamp. For those of you guys needing more guidance, I will be turning these over and we will be pulling the buttons as well for each of these. Okay. But like I said, if at any point you're already pulled intuitively, listen to that hunch or that intuition. If you're called to multiple, then there could be multiple messages. Okay. It's absolutely fine to be called to multiple piles or none. Up to you. All right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I said, I'll put the timestamp below. Let's take a look at these 4 energies, shall we? For option number 1, we have rotation, 69. Option number 2, we have lead, number 20. And number 3, we have 48. With the despicable face. And number 4, for pile 4, we have 22 with iron. Okie dokie. So sit with this energy. I will pull buttons for those of you guys who want a little more. All right. Option 1. Rotation. I'm called to pull 3, although I don't know, we could get more. So we have 28 with this person in their shadow, 21 with the elevator, and 74 with the costume face. I don't know, what is that, disguise? I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me put it over here in case it's easier to see. Okay. Option number 2 for lead, we have 99, no, 66. So I had to change it around. 99, it says no. It's shouting no. And then we have 19 with these vampire teeth. And then we have, I'm having a hard time looking at these numbers. Then we have this ladder. It's A-frame ladder, number 70. Interesting. Okie dokie. Option number 3 for the despicable face, we have 29 with the squirrel, 53 with the cowboy boot, and 32 with the white glove, magic hand. All right, so let's put this right here. I'm being called to put that over here. All right, I shall do that. Oops, one just fell out, and I do feel it's a part of this iron here. We have 80 with perfume. Now let's pull 2 more. We have 2 with the fish and 42 with the figure 8 racetrack. Let's put that over here. All right, so, okay. Let's, oh my goodness, one just fell out. I do still feel it as part of this iron, so there's things just popping out. Look, we have the poison. 2 bottles here. Poison, okay. You're like, I changed my mind. All right, so can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see. Sit with this energy. Interesting week ahead. I'll see you guys at your pick. All right. Hello, pile number 1. You guys picked rotation, which is card number 69, the spider here. And we have the shadow, the elevator, and the disguise, or the false, I don't know, face. Some of you guys might have been pulled to pile number 3, which had the despicable face. I don't know why I'm being called to say that, but it's might be connected somehow, although I haven't done that reading yet, okay? So I don't know for sure what that's all about, but we're going to lay the cards and then I'm going to channel, okay? So we'll look at sort of what's going on around you. And I'll be doing like a form of a Celtic cross here, but not as many cards. So let's look. So I'm sort of passing out of existence and it's sort of coming in, or your environment around you. However it pulls through. This one wanted to flip immediately with the moon. Okay. So we have the moon. And let's pull a card to your left. And subconscious energies in front of you. And that's the crowning card here. Conscious energies. Okay. And we'll pull this just to see personalities around you, energy around you. This could represent people, your own energy, the energy in the situation. Just gives us some context here, okay? Okay. Let us flip them over and then I will channel. So we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Hermit, the 10 Swords in reverse, we have the 5 of Wands We have Mercury, number 20, and we have leader, 86, integration, growth level, trust your instinct, inventiveness, inventiveness, courage, authority, embodiment, sharing and exchanging, 8 and 5. Type 5, the observer, thinking center between interior and exterior. Interesting. Here we have Chiron with 55. 55 is a master number. Change is the only constant, divinely orchestrated change. Here we have another 5 with the 5 wands. We have hypercreativity, 83. Accepting one's emotions, existing by oneself, originality, resource, standing out, and self-knowledge. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. And we have 44, which is also a master number. Integrity is a foundation, treating the earth as home and a temple, manifestation, and leadership. Aggressiveness, combativity, revenge, anger, hostility, reprisals, wickedness. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness, number 8. Okay, so the signs here, we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, heavy, and we have Virgo. We have Taurus, Leo, Gemini. And little, yeah. Okay, so let me channel this. Okay. Need my wand. Okay. Okay. Beautiful people. Pile number 1. I feel like it's a week where you're sort of on the back end of learning great lessons here, but you really had to do some self-reflection. There's a leveling up. And this level up is really going to empower you to create and manifest the next sort of phase. I think this is like sort of the very last taking care of business little bits, I guess, that you sort of need to wrap up before I think you finally close the door to some part of your world. Okay, I feel like you've already leveled up. I feel like you've done this through honesty and reflection. And I feel like there is a shift of energy in regards to how you utilize your own self. Because maybe in the past you didn't trust yourself. I don't know. There seems to be doubt of your own ability to make decisions that are in line with what's best for you. That's what I see here. And so I do feel like there's been an experience here for all of you guys. It could reflect in different ways. Okay. Something quite painful here that's I feel is being closed out in your world, whatever that looks like. And I do feel like this might be something here in which never really brought full clarity. This could be something here that you might have had a lot of questions around what the right thing to do is in a situation. Maybe you had some understanding of maybe what you thought you should do or could do. There could be a lot of fantasy or best case scenario sort of thinking, but I feel like all of this is sort of in the rear view mirror, if you will, because I do feel like you are bringing your own, carving your own path. And I feel like it's carving your own path from a very honest place and a very loving place. And I feel like it's love of self and love of everything sort of involved here, because I do feel it's aligned with the highest truth. in a situation where I feel there might have been a lack of truth or just a lack of clarity here. Yeah, I feel like you've been dealing in situations that might have wanted to appear in a certain way, or you've seen it in a certain way. Maybe you had rose-colored glasses, or maybe you didn't feel like you could be truly yourself or seen for who you are. Or people you were dealing with might have been false people here, you know? And I feel like you had to level up from this group of people or the situation or this person, or which I do feel also reflected parts back to yourself that I think you're seeing or accepting, maybe your own role in how you engaged or went about whatever you went about. And so I do feel like this week is you're disengaging from any inauthenticity. You're disengaging from anything that maybe is confusing or having you have to maybe even prove yourself or exert yourself. I see you not caring about exerting yourself so much and sitting with your own energy, like carving your own path. Like it has nothing to do with nobody else but yourself here. And I feel it's because you've really sat with a part of yourself, accepted a part of yourself, and maybe you had to overcome, you know, some sort of lie to yourself, even potentially. I feel like, yeah, like for a lot of you guys with the shadow and this like mask and this moon, like maybe we thought we wanted something else or that we were someone else or that we had to do something that maybe was really coming from our shadow place, you know, even if it was a good intention, it's like from a hurt place or from an unhealed place. And so it's like whatever was in your shadow creating suffering here, because I do feel like you must have been in this moonlight for some time. And with this 10 swords, this is a lot of pain. You know, you might have experienced a lot of pain here, but I don't know how long you sat here in the pain. I feel like the pain was prolonged, maybe longer than it had to be. And there is this like final wrap up. Like, I don't need to sit here in this uncertainty or this pain, but I feel like it is the only way that you sort of break out of this is with a level up here or seeing parts of yourself that might have been creating some of this discomfort. And it's this energy that's sort of radiating out from you now that's like finally seeing the light or the hope that maybe was completely gone or lost at some point. Like you're very colorful here. And I don't know when's the last time you felt very colorful or seen, you know, vibrant. I feel like this is new energy for you to work on your vibrancy, to work on clarity and seeing things in the real is what I feel here, because maybe we were seeing things, again, fantasy or like in the black and white, which was a form of pain, even if it was something that was like a dream or an illusion. I don't know. Like it seems very not in reality, you know? And I don't know, maybe again, like you were pulling the wool over your own eyes or was an unhealed place or something like this. But I feel like you're not wanting to be dragged down either. And you could have been in a situation which was holding you down that you had to rise above or pull yourself out of, I feel here. And it's a full loop, although I'm not seeing the world. I feel like it's a full loop of healing, because I feel like you're no longer in this sort of phase where you're piecing yourself together so much as I feel you're in this like I don't know what the right word is here. Like you're really, really on the upswing of positivity, done the sort of the healing part. It seems a lot more positive here rather than it does like coming from like a hurt place. Now, in your energy field, you might have people here, okay, that are, I don't know, several people. Maybe it's one person. Maybe it's just your situation that had conflict here. And I do feel like whoever you're dealing with or whatever you're dealing with might feel a need to go out of their way to try to go against or resist your leveling up, because I do feel like whatever this is, group of friends, people, colleagues, partner, I don't know, but there is some hostility, and maybe there was like somebody trying to like aggressively challenge you. And you're saying, instead of challenging this situation, I'm no longer even playing the game, or I'm no longer going to even compete here. And I do feel like your light, because whatever you are doing, not only are you not competing and sort of pulling yourself out of that battle, you're also opening yourself to something that highlights your light. And I feel like this might irritate the haters, you know? It's like, not only did you say, I'm not going to be playing this, you're saying like, I don't know, I don't even know what the right word is, because I do feel like you're standing out, or you're shining in some way, or you're being seen as you've leveled up in whatever it is you're doing. And maybe people are like, how did you step away so quickly and now find yourself in this other world? It seems almost, it's very fast here, I find. But I do feel like it might appear fast to others who might have thought you were, I don't know, like on their level or something like this, or wanting to hold you back. But I feel like you've been really doing a lot of truth seeking and reflecting for quite some time. And I think it required you to be courageous in making a decision, maybe to cut ties or pull away, or to see your value, to make decisions, to say, I'm worthy of something more, or to pull myself out of things that are not clear to me, or keeping me sort of stagnant, because I do feel like it was either pulling you down or holding you in place. Yeah. So this is what I see. Pile number one. You turn your back on a situation. I don't think you pay it no mind. You might at one point maybe felt let down, or disappointed is really the word that's coming through. Disappointed, let down, or don't want to see something anymore. I think you've seen enough. Yeah. All right. Beautiful angel, you're creating something. I want to know what you're creating. Leave a comment down below, and I love you guys very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys pick card 20 with the lead, the white, and the black. The yin, the yang. Okay, shadow and the light. And we have the A-frame ladder, the vampire teeth, and the no. So number 70, 19, and 66. Now what's funny is I pulled the no first, then the teeth, or the vampire fangs, and then the ladder. And all the other piles, I put them down from like in sequence. Like I would have put no first, then the teeth, and the ladder, but I went in reverse. And the way that they were coming out were all spinny. And initially I thought this was 99, and then it was 66, and then I couldn't make out the numbers. So there's a lot of energy that I'm already tapped into this thing, okay? But let's put your cards all out, and then I'll just channel it all as a message here for you, okay? So let's take a look. We're going to look at energy around you, maybe passing energy coming towards you or in your vicinity. Okay, so Spirit, for pile number 2, can we take a look at the week ahead? Clear and concise message for the week ahead here for pile number 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Okay, let's see. Energy around you. Could be people, places, or things. Energy around you. We have feeling invaluable. Okay. And finally, one of these. Okay, I'm feeling one more for pile number 2, Spirit. There we go. Okay, wow, we're going to have a cascade of falling cards. I'm just going to move that out of our way. Let's take a look. So, wow, King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and we have the Knight of Swords, the Fool in reverse, Aquarius energy, 10 Pentacles, and the Sun, Leo energy in reverse. Divine masculine energy here with the Sun. So we have basic fear, ego level 12, Pisces energy, feeling invaluable, get rejected. Anonymity, God, can't read. Defeat, failure, poverty, and unfortune. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearance and authenticity. Number 3. Alrighty. Venus, Pluto, 36, or the number 9. All right. And we have truth, 107, essence, growth level, straightness, trustworthy, lawful, reality, objectivity, and compassion. Number 8. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. I don't know why I'm having a very difficult time talking. And so we might be needing to communicate some truth here or someone around you. 25, Mercury, Chiron. Yeah, speaking some form of truth, something healing. 25, Mercury, Chiron. Okay. And we have Jupiter, Neptune, 48. Or the number 12 again. Where were we seeing it? Here and here. 1212 might be an angel number that you're seeing. You might want to Google that. There might be further messages there for you. Okay, I'm going to sit with this energy for a little bit and unpack this thing, okay? Okay, this is an interesting energy. Remember, this could be your energy, people you're dealing with, situation, circumstance. Okay, it's up to you to sort of determine, but it doesn't have to be your energy if I say it to you. But I will read this as you. There is a strong sense of self here. Okay, but it's really pulling through as there is sort of a little bit of a distortion I feel here that maybe, I don't know if you're seeing it as a distortion so much, if I have to be honest, okay? Because I think you have a way that you're seeing yourself or your situation from one lens, and it might be like self-preservation in some way here, because I feel like it is seeing you in a way here that is solid, you know? It's not like you're seeing yourself through the eyes of something that's like feeble or weak in any capacity, but this could be a weakness if we see ourselves in a more, I don't know, maybe solid position or secure position or righteous position than we actually are. And so what I'm really feeling here is, I don't know if this is an inner part of yourself or somebody that brings some sort of threat. And how they threaten you, I guess, is by challenging this or making you see this. Because I feel like there's a heavy emphasis on materialism or some aspect of security. That seems a little superficial here, if I have to be honest. It's like I know my self-worth, the kind of energy here. But I also feel like if we really don't know our self-worth, and it's coming from a place of trying to cover up a greater truth that doesn't allow us to make moves or grow or change, then do we really know our self-worth, or are we using our own sort of there's so much coming through here. It's like using our own sort of veil of virtue and using that as the reason we cannot be honest about something. So I do feel there's two parts here, and I don't know if you're dealing with someone or a part of yourself. So there is definitely a need to speak some form of truth that's going to bring clarity and light to a situation. And if you've been in a situation with a false sense of security and truth, I think somebody who's the real deal might bring this to your awareness. And it doesn't feel good, because if we were really believing that we had real security or something like this, then we feel threatened, and at first blush, we might not want to see that or believe that. So there's like being on a high horse of sorts, but that's our own downfall. And so I feel like there's a strong, I don't know how this applies just yet, and this is really interesting. I feel like there's a strong sense of boundaries or resistance or pushback with no and this Knight of Swords. And then there's this draining energy. But there is a way out of this, and I feel like the way out of this is through truth and honesty. And I feel like right now there's either being in a world of untruth that's like a false sense of security, or there's dealing with the truth and all that comes with it, and accepting maybe where we didn't want to be honest with ourselves, or accept some part that comes with this truth. Because if we do, then it's we feel like we might be trying to avoid feeling rejected or failing, or like we can't do something here. And maybe we were trying to justify this. I feel like there is a need to deal with this before we can open a chapter to new experiences that are blocked here. And we might feel slighted by the universe. Like, why can't I have this opportunity? Or we're already putting the cart before the horse with some assumption, I think, of what position we're in. And Spirit is saying we have to deal with our own shadow. And I feel like this shadow here is one of the way that we use our own security and our own intimate story that we tell ourselves of our position, of what we built and why we're staying or doing what we're doing. And really all this is doing is not allowing us to grow or to experience anything. But I do feel like it doesn't prevent us from feeling defeated anyway. So I don't know who we're trying to fool. Like, who are we trying to fool here? I think someone's going to bring the truth, and then I think you're going to see the truth. And I think what Spirit is really showing on this end is once you see the truth and accept the truth, no matter how it makes you feel uncomfortable here, because I think at first we might feel defeated, or we might actually see your poverty. Now, this isn't, like talking about financial poverty, could be, but the poverty is like really, I was really in a state of lack. I was really missing out. I was really unfortunate, but I was seeing this as a virtue, or I was using this as to justify my position in some way here. I was either being superficial or materialistic or defending my position here. And I feel like whatever energy comes in here, and like I said, maybe it's a part of yourself, maybe it's someone else, or maybe this is flipped and this is you putting someone sort of in check here with the truth, because there's this like energy that's like a little ruthless here. And it's like, this is your drain, or this is what's causing your suffering, or this is where you're being unfortunate, or this is what's depleting you, or this is why you're rejected, or this is, you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, like we can no longer sort of stay in that state of denial because we no longer see it as light. It's either abundance or lack. It's either true or false. It's either yes or no. And here it's saying it's a no. And so this is why I feel like we might have been seeing a yes as a no and a no as a yes. I don't know. Get that, whatever applies to your situation. And I feel like whatever you were saying, whether it be yes, 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 or no, 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 it was like keeping you in place. But I think there was so much more to that. And I'm really seeing like your shadow coming to light. So now two people are aware of this, or the situation and you are aware of this, or you and whatever, the other person, like it's in the shadow or in the dark, and therefore it's creating the suffering because it's creating feeling rejected. It's creating the lack of movement, or the lack of taking a chance, or the lack of progress or flow. It's playing it safe. It's accepting a false as a truth. It's draining. It's sinking. It's holding. It's limiting. It's drowning. And it's defeating. Over time, it's, if held in place, it would be the death of you, very dramatic. But I mean, when we have lead and it goes and it sinks, it's like it never rises again. And this is why we have this ladder, because I feel like there is a ladder here to get you out of this. And I feel like maybe someone or whoever brings this to clarity or to truth, at first blush should be like feeling threatened. Maybe we felt rejected, or I don't know, there's some feeling we don't like, but really this is the ladder. The ladder is the truth. The truth is what helps you to get out of sinking further and further and further into this draining situation, or a no way out situation. And I feel like it might be a situation where you might have to say no, no more of that. Or no, I'm not like that. Or no, this isn't the truth. And I feel like once you do this, then I do feel like there's abundance on the other side and sort of unlimited potential here. But I feel like there is something, about needing to speak a greater truth that we might have a difficult time being honest about, maybe really setting boundaries, or using our words to communicate certain things here. And this could represent like father and family and commitment, and over long-term building, security, wealth, abundance for like building our legacy. And so this is kind of like the end game, and this is sort of a new beginning, but I feel like something's blocked here. And maybe you're not wanting to risk what you have established here. But again, I feel like the question really is, are we seeing what we've built here in one sort of veil or one sort of light here? Because I feel like there's a huge shadow element here where we're feeling like it's like we're invaluable, you know, or that we are really sitting like this, or this is how we see it. But the truth of the matter is all those things that I was talking about here, that really it's this superficial way of understanding or seeing ourselves or a situation as being secure. And then we get with the shadow here, like we get a slap of reality or truth, and then our shadow comes out all of a sudden. And I feel like it's an all of a sudden, like Knight of Swords is one of the quickest moving knights, and then we have the white to the black, like it's so contrasting. So I feel like it's like boom, once we see it, once we understand, it's like we don't want anything to do with anything except for getting out of this drain. So I don't know, is someone draining you for your finances? Are you draining your own self? Like, I don't know here, you know? I don't know, but this is the reading. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Pile number 2, if you're pulled to another reading, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. You guys are pile number 3. You picked the Despicable Face, card number 48. And you picked the Squirrel, number 29, the Cowboy Boot, 53, and the White Glove, 32. Okay. Energy definitely coming through already, but let's pull your spread so that I can see the energy here before I channel all of it. All right, so clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3 for the week ahead, Spirit. Now we'll look at energy around you. Okay, this could be passing energy. This could be energy coming towards you, or just currently in your vicinity here. And we'll see how this sort of plays into the week ahead, okay? So this could be people, situations, circumstances, energetically around you. And finally, okay, flip these over. 9 of Cups in reverse. King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. 7 of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Knight of Cups in reverse. All right. We have Vanity, 39. Arrogance, vainglory, pride, disdain, sufficiency, and high self-esteem. Number 3. Type 3, the Achiever, emotional center between appearance and authenticity. But this Despicable Face is just all about being authentic, or the need to be authentic. And here we have Sun and Uranus. Number 8. So Sun's the ruling planet for Leo. And Uranus is the ruling planet for Aquarius. It's a great awakener. The Sun's bringing things to light. All right. And let's see. And we have Chiron, Neptune, 57. Number 12 here. And then we have Denial, 35. Defense mechanism. Reality denial, disapproval, refute. Negation, avoidance, refusal of weakness. Number 8 again. Type 8, the Challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. Okay. Let me see here what we have. So we have Pisces, Leo, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and some Libra, Taurus energy. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I just want to see, what is the White Glove in this book? What is its, how does it? Meticulous care, above standard service, and star quality. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I don't feel it's your energy. It could be someone you're dealing with here, but it could be you. And I don't know that I necessarily like this energy so much, because I feel this is an energy of, okay, well, there's multiple things coming through. Maybe you don't like this energy either. Okay, and maybe this is what you're seeing, because I do feel with the sun and the Uranus, it's like a sudden realization of seeing something, and I don't know if it's finally a realization of seeing something in yourself or seeing something in someone else here. And it's not a good thing that we're seeing. It's either something we have to kick out of our life or walk away from. Now, if this is us, then this could be somebody sort of kicking us out of their life or giving us the boot or walking away from us. And I mean, generally, the squirrel's a good thing, because this is like planning and preparing and doing sort of the work, if you will. But what I'm really getting here is the work that we're doing, or what we're sort of invested in or engaged in here, is keeping up some form of not goodness, which is more of the lie. Because I feel like whoever this is that's predominantly in this energy is very much wanting to upkeep some false version of themselves with this despicable face. And it's all out of arrogance and ego. Look at me, 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 and can't get enough of themselves. However, whatever they're doing here. And I think what happens here is reality, or karma happens, although this person might still not be caught up to reality. It's like they're still in denial because they don't want to admit maybe they got walked away from. But I feel like if you're the one doing the walking away, because I feel like there's a big realization happening. So either you're on the one side is still in denial. So the way you'll know is ask yourself, like, are you sitting in your own sort of praise? Are you overindulging yourself with what's best in it for me? And surrounding yourself with what makes you sort of reflect a goodness from within you, because you might not like certain parts of yourself to be seen. And so it's like, I'm going to surround myself with people that are going to see the good parts of me. Meanwhile, the parts that we're showing are not really authentic parts of us anyway. And so we're sort of upkeeping a energy in which we want to be seen. And it does feel like a selfish sort of energy here, but I feel like there's another energy, which I just feel a little bloop of this energy, is like having some form of awareness here and either walking away, or like you feel, if this is, you're on the other end and feel like you got the boot, or you got rejected, or you got, I don't know. And then the dialogue goes like, oh, they don't know what they're missing, It's like, okay, well, if we're in this sort of denial energy, then I guess two people win, really, at the end of the day, right? Because one is sort of aligned with the truth, with the sun here, which is clarity and reality. And it's maybe a sudden realization that they're having. And someone else is sort of in ego and in denial. And so making reasons why this would be justified. But I feel like at the end of the day, when we're living in falsities or pretending to be something we're not, we're never emotionally fulfilled. And so I feel like there's this like stop here. And I feel like the stop removes a whole bunch of options or potential here that might have at one point been on the table, is no longer on the table here. And I don't know that we're fully understanding or seeing this, if we're still the one sort of in ego, or if we finally see this and then it's like, I'm kicking this out of my life, or I'm no longer want this anywhere sort of around me here. And like, sometimes the white gloves, like, I don't know, like trying to deal with situations in the least Like I'm seeing, you know, like we don't want to dirty our hands or do a dirty deed. And so we're like handling it with kid gloves or cautious. But I feel like this has been maybe how we were trying to deal with something, maybe, you know, like I don't want to ruffle feathers or I don't know, upset egos or, but I feel like this is like polar opposite because it's like, I don't know, a swift kick here. I feel there's a swift kick. And it's like from everything to nothing is kind of what I'm seeing, and a halt and a stop. And then I see a false energy here. And so Spirit's really talking about like the healing of the denial and the healing of the illusion and the healing of self has to come with acceptance of what's not real and what it might have been fantasy. And I think there might have been a fantasy of someone here, I don't know who, of how they think they need to be seen or appreciated or sufficient in some way here. There's a lot in regards to how I'm seen and how I'm putting it out there, even if it's not aligned with my truth, or even if I'm not being honest, or even if I'm refuting a certain truth here, then it's still what I've been putting out there. And I don't know, it's like, no, it's all going to sort of come to a stop. And then what I'm seeing here is like, how long can we sit there? Not much longer, because I feel like reality here keeps on going. But this scenario, whatever illusion this was, whatever denial this was, whatever ego story this was, whatever false self this was, has no progress here. It can't stay alive here. The dream can't stay here. And I feel like eventually the dissatisfaction kicks in here because it can't progress. It's like kicked out. And I feel like there's disruption here because of this. And I don't know if maybe we were like I'm getting one squirrel. Like, what were we planning on doing? Were we trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes or concoct something for self? Feeling a very like self energy here. Self. But yet it's the false self, because the truest self never had a voice or was seen or put on the line to be seen or to take action on that, out of a taking energy. And it can only take so much before I think the well sort of dries up here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm speaking in riddles, but that's what this is about. Okay, that's definitely what this is about here. So I don't know how it applies, but maybe you're like shedding some light here, or you have some realizations, you know, maybe realizations about yourself. And I don't know. Anyway, this is your reading, pile number 3. I wish you the best of luck. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Pile number 4. What's the week ahead? You guys picked iron here with 22. 22 is a master number. Okay, peacemaker, diplomacy, healthy energetic boundaries, divinely guided relationships. And we have iron. We'll get into the energy once I have all the cards out, okay? But we have 80 here with the perfume. We have the fish here, number 2. We have the highway, that's sort of loop-de-loop, 42. And then we have poison here, 78. So yeah, let's get into this reading, shall we? Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of want to lay everything out here before I get into all of it. Super hot in this room, too. I feel like I'm dying here, which is interesting because we have poison here, which poison could definitely talk about toxic people, toxic situations, things like this. And I feel like I don't want to be here, you know, but I do want to do your reading. I just feel like I want to get out of here already. My last reading. Okay, let's take a look. Energy. So this could be your energy, people around you, situation, circumstance. Okay, let's take a look. All right. for pile number 4, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. All right. 10 swords, you guys. This is why I was feeling discomfort. So a lot of discomfort here. The world. Okay, well. Closure here. Ending. Page of Wands. 6 of Wands in reverse. The Fool, Aquarius energy. 4 Swords in reverse. King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. We have submission. 17 and 8. Powerlessness, enslavement, fragility, weakness, subjugation, dependency. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. Aquarius energy, Leo energy. We have 38 Mars in Jupiter energy. Okay. Number 11. And then we have Jupiter Chiron with 46, or the number 10, which is also an ending here. Jupiter is a ruling planet for Sagittarius. Mars is a ruling planet for Aries, Scorpio. And then Jupiter's the ruling planet for, Sagittarius, Pisces, which I just finished saying. Here we have Sun and Mars, number 4. Okay, Leo, Aries, Scorpio energy. And then we have 89, integration, growth level, protection, generosity, helper, love, listener, defender, fighting against injustice. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. Okay, excuse me. Let me sit with this energy. It might take a bit, so you can skip ahead. Okay. Wow. Wowzers. You're closing the door to a chapter in your world. It's over. And I feel like maybe you're really glad that this whole thing is over, even though painful experience. So you might still be just sort of a week here where this closes out completely. Okay, this doesn't mean that forevermore you forget about what's happened to you, but I feel like the worst of the pain is completely over here. There's nowhere but up when you got 10 swords in your back, and there's no going back to what it was, especially with the world here. The world is success and closure, completion, and the 10 of swords is painful ending where we feel betrayed. I feel like the betrayal or the painful event, people, toxic situations, whatever it was that created this has happened. Not happening in this week, but has happened. But I feel like this week is all about closing this. And I feel like the whole amalgamation of energies that I'm seeing here was a beautiful energy of yours that might have got stifled or taken advantage of or hurt or something like this. It's a beautiful big energy. But I feel like something was dimming your light. Maybe you were dimming your own light by submitting yourself to toxic people, toxic situations, or situations in which you might have felt weak, or you were, like subjugating yourself to things. But I feel like this is talking all about your strength and the possibilities. And I feel like you've had to plunge the depths of understanding self. And I don't know, like there's this new vitality I feel here, like seeing the potential. And I do feel like whatever situation you were maybe involved with or circumstance, relationship, whatever this might have been something that was really a no win or no way out type situation. No way out. I mean, you're definitely out, but I feel like there was no success to be had here. I feel like maybe this was something you were really enthusiastic about, optimistic, trying to find, like a lot of Jupiter and this Page of Wands is all about this beautiful, youthful energy of abundance and joy. And I feel like it was being stifled or like diminished or watered down, and maybe you allowed it to happen, or maybe you just weren't seeing how it could be different for you. But I feel like what we're seeing here is a flip here, because I feel like you're seeing it different for you. I feel like it's a new beginning here for you. And even the past pains of whatever you experienced, the healing that you did is something here that's like, it doesn't feel like a scar or a wound that slows you down. This feels like I'm stronger because of this, but now it's like I'm so feeling very free from not being stuck in place. Because I feel like you were either really loyal to a situation or like the solid backbone. I feel like there's a real loyalty or solidness about you. But I feel like this solidness with this iron, I think was either taken advantage of or utilized in a situation here where you were supporting something that might have been very toxic, or just it wasn't in your best favor. And this isn't saying like only support things that are like going to uphold me. I think you were trying to do the right thing here. But I think, like I said, it was either a no-win, or it just you went down this road and it didn't have success here. Or maybe you were really just not seen and appreciated for really what you were offering or bringing here forward. And I feel like there's this no more of this sort of an energy. And now it's like that inner strength you had is like utilizing your energy to support yourself in new endeavors. Because I feel like your fire is back. Your fire and your desire to explore is even greater than it was in the past. Because I feel like whatever situation this was, there was like this, like I said, a desire to explore, but I feel like it was like this baby page energy, you know? And now you're like this King of Wands. It's like, I'm going to explore, but I'm in control, or I have the power now because the strength I have is now within me. I'm no longer giving it out or handing it out or outsourcing my strength to upkeep things that aren't in line with, I don't know, appreciating you, or where you can have no success to be had because it's like dead end situations or repeat things. I don't know, but I feel like the power now is like you see your own power, and you are your greatest protector. Although I do feel you're protected by the divine, and I do feel like this divine intervention here, because we're seeing the World, which is a major arcana, and the Fool here, another major arcana. It's like this is driven by the divine, but in order for us to get the world, we have to go through a lesson and fully understand the judgment and make different decisions. And so that's in our own ability. And once we do that, then the universe says you're rewarded. Congratulations, you can now have a new beginning. And that's where you're at. It's like now you're having a new beginning that's actually based on new beginnings, because you close something out successfully. You see something here. And I think what you see here is maybe where your strength actually is, or your devotion actually should lie. And I think whatever you were doing here was submitting yourself to something. And I feel like this change, this new energy, is like in line with your destiny, with the star here, and some great wish here that I feel you might have always really wanted, you know, but I don't know, maybe you were devoting or seeing yourself as aligning with some other thing here that wasn't in line with actually your wish. Because now we're just seeing here things differently, you know? And I really love this energy, because it's like you're your own protector here, but what you're protecting here within self is like, I protect my love, I protect my generosity, I protect who I help and who I don't. I protect my ability to listen. I protect my own ability to defend when I need to. People maybe who I feel might need defending, or most of all, when I'm in situations where I need to defend myself, I'm no longer sort of not defending myself. Okay, fighting against injustice. And I feel like maybe you're in a situation here where you had the short end of the deal. You weren't being seen or appreciated. And it's like, no, I am now in line with seeing clearly my power, my agency, and speaking truth, because I really feel Mars is all about being assertive, not letting people walk on us, you know, but without aggression, and fighting the right battles. And I feel like this is fighting the right battles. And this is all about an energy of protecting your own light, because I don't feel like you're going out like competing or challenging. I feel like this is a really smart energy about really protecting your light and understanding your own sort of energy in a way here that doesn't allow you to experience what you did experience, because I feel like what you experienced was not good here at all. And I feel like you've had to do a lot of healing here. And really, this lesson, if you will, that the universe was handing to you, because I do feel it was a lesson that you had to understand, painfully so, was all about your own. Because we see Mars here and Mars on the other end here. And it was like, in the place of being assertive, we were submissive. In the place of speaking our truth, we weren't. In the place of seeing our value, we weren't. In the place of being strong for ourselves, we were strong for others, which is nothing wrong with this, you know? This is really interesting because it seems like the collective is shifted here, because all my other readings were like, hey, we need to support others, you know, show love, compassion. And this is like, I think the lesson was like, show compassion to self, show love to self. And we can't do this for other if we're too lost within ourselves. And so I feel like there's a shift here, not only for you, but I feel like collectively here in this lesson or this understanding, which is great because, you know, I was getting tired of seeing that video, like, until this person comes correctly and sees me in my light. It's like, well, we need to see ourselves in that light, and that's all that really matters. And so I feel like this new beginning, though, like, is really, you know, when we go through suffering or a period that doesn't feel good, we might have like a 4 cups energy. It's like we don't even want to engage in anything new. This is what's coming to an end, because with the perfume and the Fool here, it's like we're pulled and we're enticed by something that actually has a good aroma and is actually exciting us. I feel you're excited again, authentically, genuinely. But now you have in place the structure to explore without falling through the, I don't know, the weak bridge or the decomposition of the wood that was really toxic or rotting, you know? I feel you fell through the bridge and got really hurt. And now it's like, well, this bridge now is made of iron here, but it's your own. You trust it because you built it yourself. You know what it's constructed of. You're not falling through this, and you're walking through the other side here. And I don't know that you know exactly where you're going, but you're really excited and pulled by this adventure because you know that it's no longer going to hurt. You know that there's no way that you're going to fall through here, that you really trust your own support, your own strength. And this was the lesson here, you know, your own Mars ability. No more feeling powerlessness or fragile, weak, whatever this energy was, giving into toxicity, you know, your own toxicity, maybe your own destructive patterns or something like this. But we really had to sort of plunge into the depths, I feel, with this fish and this 10 swords to understand, you know, and make decisions with the number 2 that were different than maybe we have in the past. But I don't feel like there was any decision you could have made in that road you were down or going down, and now it's like unlimited. Like, really, the Fool is all about a potential that is unlimited with the 0. Okay, and 22, I feel there is divine intervention and divine guidance around wherever you're being navigated through, which is really shown, like I said, with this major arcana. Okay, so beautiful, confident. I feel like there's a self-focus. Maybe it's even around your business or your own exciting, inspired creations, you know? Yeah. Pile number 4, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I love you guys very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.